to this edition of Supervisors Report with the President of Alameda County Board of Supervisors, David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamina. Joining me now is Supervisor Haubert. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Marshall, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Please start out by not mayor's choice, but supervisor's choice. Yes.
Well, Marshall, a few things to report on today. First is I would like to congratulate Evan Kamina for completing his Eagle Scout project, which I understand will lead to his Eagle Scout promotion. He will have an Eagle Scout Court of Honor coming up at some point. He created and built an incubator for chickens and eggs at the Goodness Village in Livermore. What a great, outstanding young man he is. And I just want to say thank you and congratulations to Evan Kamina. You might know him.
Yes, indeed. He's my grandson.
Your grandson. Congratulate your grandson, Evan, for
And
me.
you're responsible for putting him in that direction after he saw the piece on Goodness Village.
Oh, that's great.
So I should thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Also, Marshall, I want to say we're right in the middle of harvest in the Livermore wine region. I want to thank and really give my hats off to the winemakers, the winery vineyard operators, the people that are harvesting the grapes themselves. I even had a chance to go out and join one of the local wineries, McGrail Winery, and they even let me pitch in and help a little bit. I'll share a couple of photos on the screen here. But I want to thank Mark Claren and Ginger and Heather McGrail at McGrail Winery for allowing me to see what hard work it is, but what fun work it also can be, because you look forward to tasting all the wine when it's ready. But right now we're in the middle of harvest. We had some rain that happened along the way. It's always a curveball. We don't know what Mother Nature's going to bring us, but they are doing everything they can to bring in the best harvest that can produce the best wine in the world, right here in Livermore Valley.
You know, that's just music to my ears. Jim McGrail was such a blessing to us in his winery, and his remaining family has done a great job of just keeping it special.
That's right. You're exactly right, Marshall. Yeah.
Thank you. What topics would you like to share with us today?
Well, Marshall, I'm pleased to announce that BART has finally completed its next generation fare gates. Now, these fare gates are the kind that you can't just walk over or slip in between. I think some people try to slip in between still, but they just, you can't cheat these fare gates. They keep the BART trains safer. They keep revenue up. In other words, everyone that rides the BART has to pay now. And they started, can you imagine, Marshall, there are 700 entrances to the BART. 700 gates needed to be installed across 50 stations. They did it all in a project that started, well, it started a while ago, but it was completed right before, the completion date was set to be December 25. So they completed it a couple weeks ago, ahead of schedule. And the last station to get installed with these fare gates, they had a big ribbon cutting in celebration that it was finally completed. And that was at the West Dublin and Pleasanton BART station, which I think is really the newest BART station. And it was the last one to get the fare gates.
It might even be in District 1.
Actually, Marshall, half of it is in District 1. And the other half is in Supervisor Miley's District 4. So indeed, when I spoke at the press conference, I thanked everyone for coming in from my left, which was from Dublin. And I said, if you're looking for Supervisor Miley's district, it's over here, well, to my right, to my left, because indeed, the BART station is right in the middle, right at the dividing line. So anyway, I want to congratulate the BART team. We'll show a few photos of the ribbon cutting. And I just want everybody to know, if you haven't been back on BART, get back on BART and ride. It's safer, it's cleaner, and the BART team is doing everything they can now, post-pandemic, to make the experience better and better.
Thank you. With regard to the ACTC survey, I noticed that staying on the topic of transportation, the Alameda County Transportation Commission is conducting an online survey in its 2026 countywide transportation plan. Can you please tell us about the survey, its purpose, and how the results might be used?
Well, Marshall, I know a little bit about the Alameda County Transportation Commission.
You're one of the officers.
And that's because I'm the chairman of the board for Alameda County Transportation Commission. Having served 6 years as mayor and now 4.5 years as county supervisor, I have quite a bit of experience with Alameda County Transportation Commission, and they are a well-run agency who really wants to listen to the community, listen to what they have to say about what's working well and about what can be improved. And they really want to make sure that they steer the taxpayer dollars to the projects that matter most. So the way to do that is to survey the community. We have a press release and a link that we'll show online here and an opportunity to go fill out the survey. This will lead to, and by the way, if you don't find it here, you can find it on our website, but it's going to lead to a better policy blueprint. Our executive team will be making decisions directly based on the results of the survey that we get. So if you don't vote, you can't complain. Go ahead and vote. The way you vote in this is to fill out the survey, and it's not too long either. It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes to,
Really?
to fill
Where
out.
can people go to get it?
They should go, we're going to put the www.alamedactc.org, and we'll put a further link to the actual survey on the screen for our viewers to see.
Thank you.
We care about what people have to say.
I think it's very obvious, and I commend you for that. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of Supervisors Report with David Haubert in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisors Report with David Haubert. I've been thinking, and I'm sure you have too, about citizenship and residence. Are you experiencing any problems with residents who have been resided here for several years and are now having difficulty due to citizenship issues? Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, Marshall, this indeed is a very important topic to all of us. I don't think that anybody disagrees that people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's the American dream. However, it's a very thorny issue when you talk about people that are residing in our country that aren't citizens. And we have an example even right here in Livermore where one of our own, Miguel Lopez, has lived in this community, worked, paid taxes, been a law-abiding citizen, working towards getting citizenship, marrying a U.S. citizen even, and working on then legitimizing his citizenship. One would argue that he has all but the final strokes of a pen to grant him that citizenship. And yet, the day before a judge was able to rule on whether he could stay and continue that process, he was detained by ICE in May of this year. He was deported to Mexico in June of this year. His family, again, his wife is a U.S. citizen. They continue to reside here in Livermore. He's down in Mexico. And so it's a very thorny issue. By all rights, we would hope that a person like that would be able to attain the American dream. He is not like some of the other folks that have been deported who have criminal records and, you know, maybe should be deported and maybe have orders to leave and haven't left and should be deported. So I think we're caught in the crosshairs of what some people think is a very needed process to happen, deport criminals, versus somebody who, by all rights, except for the stroke of a final pen, should have citizenship. I'm heartened to hear that our Congressman Swalwell went to visit Miguel in Mexico. He's even working on a bill that would grant him citizenship so that he can return proud, visit his family, live with his family, work in our community. And I have offered to help in any way that I can in that process. Here in Alameda County, on a broader level, we are struggling with getting the word out to let people know about their rights. Everybody has a right to due process, Whether you entered the country illegally or not, you have a right to due process. We're trying and funding lawyers that will help explain those rights. What we are not doing is getting in the way of the federal government doing the job that they feel they need to do. Mm-hmm. Instead, what we're doing is arming our citizens with what their rights are. We at Alameda County have, and in addition to that, Marshall, if a family has been torn apart, i.e. the breadwinner and parent of the family, in this case Miguel, moved out, how does the family pay rent? How do they buy food? We're creating a stabilization fund to help those families who have been affected directly with assistance, additional assistance above and beyond what they otherwise would receive, specifically because of the crisis that they're in. We want everybody to feel safe in our community. We want everybody to feel valued in our community. The federal government is going to deport the people that they deport, criminals. We want to make sure that everyone else is well protected.
I'm very touched by that. Thank you so much. Winter, will the programs that have been in place continue, and are there any programs being developed to keep low-income folks better able to withstand the winter?
Marshall, there is. The Vineyard Resource Center, what we call Vineyard 2.0, has a overnight availability of around 30 spaces, basically cots that are put out temporarily for sleeping bags and pillows and the like. About 18 people, give or take a few, almost every night, are starting to take advantage of that. It's open Monday through Friday, unfortunately, apparently not the weekends, but it's open every night starting in early November all the way through till spring comes. People should check the website, which we will also put on the screen for availability. Although, as I said, a capacity of 30, we've experienced roughly 18. When they wake up in the morning, they're also given a breakfast, services. They can meet with a counselor, and then they go about their day. Generally, we find that it's a mix of single men and women. Families, on the other hand, we have some resources which will help put people up in a hotel. So some families are living in a car. Some families are themselves homeless. We'll provide brief hotel stays for those families. We generally target those to the areas, to the time frames when it's really cold, below 45 degrees, and raining, which we know we're experiencing that weather right now.
Thank you for that information. Are there some upcoming events you'd like to share?
Well, we talked about the wine region, and I wanted to say that the Taste Our Terroir event is upon us, and people can be experiencing that. I would hope that each of the wineries will continue to have their fall activities, and we'll be talking about Christmas parades probably on our next segment, Marshall, but I can't wait for the Livermore and the Pleasanton Christmas parade. They're both on the same night, and we do them both, Marshall, in the front of one parade and in the back of another.
Are you planning anything for the fire department so they have another feed for everybody who loves their food?
That would probably be a good idea. I like that.
Thank you, Supervisor Haubert, for being here today and updating us. Join us next time for the next episode of Supervisors Report with David Haubert, right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you for watching.